Okay, I was watching the Grocery Girls podcast, and something that one of them said just made me really laugh. They were talking, it was in this recent episode, and they were talking about their backyards at the beginning of spring, and the whole idea of having a big dog. And I gotta tell you, it's so hit true to home. Every spring, gotta go out and clean it up, and it just made me laugh. Anyway, I just had to share that. So this next colorway that's coming out, the Moon's Eye, is actually one that has a story that I think is complex. And the cool thing about complex stories is that it's up to the interpreter to determine what they think of the story and how they interpret it. So, I contacted Amy Meeks, which, if you guys know Amy Meeks, she is one of the Periscoping Sisters with Debbie Reese. They do a Periscoping podcast called they do a podcast called the Periscoping Sisters on YouTube, and they do a really good job with it. But anyway, I texted Amy Meeks and told her that I was coming up with this rich colorway, and she texted back and says, "Rich?" Like as in, with a question mark, like. And I said, like rich as in umeme, which is like a complex flavor that, how you have the taste buds of, salty, sweet. Well, umeme is one that it's considered a very rich flavor. It's hard to put your finger on, but yet when you have it, it's sometimes difficult to describe. But anyway, so I was explaining that this colorway is going to be very rich, and like umeme, and in part it's because the story, I think, is very complex. So in the Moon's Eye, it's the story of how the moon only sees other things but cannot see itself because there's no mirror to reflect itself. So, and of course, the most prominent thing that the moon sees is the beautiful earth and all the colors of the earth. And so the the moon imagines itself even more beautiful, and doesn't actually realize that of its own colors are really just black and white with different shades of gray in between. And so in many ways, the blissfulness that the moon is able to live in is wonderful. And then also in the other way, the moon is very beautiful in other ways, because the moon has its craters and has its valleys and its peaks, and so it has its own form of beauty, and from that it's able to live in this blissfulness that is its own color combination, and never ever finds out what its true colors actually are, and so it just imagines that its colors are just a vast array of colors, and so there's something very positive about that, and there also can be something sad about that, you know, to live within blissfulness but not know the reality. But you know, the reality is in the eye of the beholder, and the reality is that the moon thinks it's beautiful, and therefore it is, you know. So that's kind of the cool thing about the story of the moon's eye, and that's why I created the colorway. So